was very satisfying. I enjoyed nearly all of the process as much as I hated it. But to come to this stage, every time I come home, have a look at it, yeah, I love it.
Would I do it again? Fuck no.
My name's, do I say my name?
Yeah, hello. What do I do with my hands?
No, I'm fucked now, you go.
I'm Hollis, I'm a boiler maker. I have a metal fab workshop in Port Douglas.
My name's Carlo Boffa and I'm a carpenter from Port Douglas.
Woo!
Oh my God.
We made it! We got it!
Yeah, it's the first
Shit, you want me to
part
hold your hand?
Oh, we cock.
The inspiration for this come from, we used to take that 4.2, tow it to the Bloomfield and then launch out of the Bloomfield River. We had a few like trips where we just jagged the weather, it was just glamour, glass out. And then it blew up one day and we got bashed for like 2.5 hours getting home. And me and Carlo were like on the drive home was like, fuck this. Let's get a glass boat. Let's build a glass boat. We can't afford to buy one. And then started looking and then 2 days later, Carlo rings me. He's like, oh, I found this Haines V213C.
Yeah, just drove into Cairns and had a look and then, yeah. We paid 6.5 grand cash. Brought it back home and then the following weekend we cut the guts out of it, eh? It was a complete boat. It had the motor, fuel tanks, the whole shoot match. She was ready to roll.
Yeah.
We could have gone fishing.
We could have gone fishing.
It had, what did it have, 200 litres of fuel in the tank.
Yeah, it had
was ready to go.
Old Evinrude 200 two-stroke on it. Like you could have used it. Should have used it, we didn't.
Nah.
We were just like, we'll rebuild this thing in a few months and we'll be fishing.
Yeah.
It's only got a soft deck.
Yeah, we picked at the deck a bit and then Eden, we had a few beers, sorry, and then Eden was like, oh, why don't we just trim around the edge of the gunnel and we could pull that off and maybe reshape it. And then before you know it, we'd fully stripped the whole thing.
Yeah,
Like
one
the lot.
weekend.
There was nothing left of it.
It had like that pedestal seats and all that, so we pulled them out, we pulled the pod off and the top, like some dude drove from near Townsville to buy the top. Like we sold off a heap of shit, probably.
Yeah, a guy come from Tully and he bought the whole fucking wog top. Like full old school alley, like the whole thing was just covered in shade. And he drove all the way from Townsville, picked her up. I think we got $500 cash for that, eh?
Yeah, and the pod, like
good going.
I think we recouped like 2.5 grand of the initial spend. So that was pretty good, we were stoked with that.
We got down to the stringers and then we were at that point and we thought, you know, like we give him a good kick and we thought, oh fuck, you know, we got to pull him out, eh? And then we did that and then there was nothing left of it.
Yeah, so. It was sort of like progressively got to just being a shell. It wasn't like we just went out of it intentionally to fucking get it back to a bad shell, but we unpicked one bit and then we were both like, oh fuck, we can't leave that. If we're gonna do this, we can't leave that. We want to build a solid boat. And then before you know it, like there's no transom, it was just like this, it was a skin, man. Like it was just literally a skin. And really then we should have just gone, you know what, we just burnt 6 grand, we'll tow this fucking thing to the tip. And then it was like, well, we're balls deep now, like we can't stop.
We wanted to move the cab right forward so we got a lot of room at the back to fish. And we're just coming up with nice shapes and what we wanted to do with the arse end of the boat. We wanted to like try and make the back of the boat look like a marlin boat. We fish a lot of assegais and that type of thing, so we just wanted to try and make the boat replicate that. Yeah, so we picked the floor height up by about, what, 100 millimeters? Yeah. Just mainly we wanted to get the floor up because it had a funny gunnel height and we wanted to get more fuel. So we got just a bit over 500 litres of fuel. So we got a really good range.
Yeah, because it had an inboard, like it was stern drive originally, and then it only had like a 200 litre tank, and there was no room up the guts to get a decent tank in it, so we picked that up. And then we sort of got ourselves in a bit of a spot though too, because we shaved like those 213s, the gunnel came down from the windscreen all the way to the back, so there's nowhere to sit on the side of it, and it was quite awkward. Like you felt safe because you're quite high-sided, but there's nowhere to sit and it wasn't real practical for what we wanted. So we cut that back, which lowered the height as well.
So the hull extension, yeah, we got a sheet of 3mm bracing ply and a couple of sheets of form ply. And we just pretty well just bended up the ply and just followed the shape of the hull.
Continued the line of the hull right through.
Yeah, you just continued it through. We used a couple of bits of angle line. And then...
we didn't want a stepped one. Like everyone we've seen who does a step pod or that, straight away it's like, and we're not boat builders, so don't, like I might be just talking out my ass, but every time I see them do it, they need trim tabs and it rides like shit unless you have them. So we wanted to do a full extension.
I think it took us, what, 2.5 weeks?
Yeah.
To get the full layup done. Obviously we could only do 3 or 4 layers of glass at a time, otherwise it'll exotherm and bulge and mold. So it's all honeycomb panel, chop strand, roving, chop strand, both sides, and then bogged up, faired, gel coated, sanded. It's a hell of a process.
We also, like the stringers, when we put them in, we knew we wanted to do the hull extension, so we ran the stringers through the original transom, which tie into that all as one, so
yeah,
we knew it wasn't going to break off. Like I have seen a few ones where like people have done hull extensions and then a year later they're like all cracked out and looking a bit agricultural.
Yeah, so all the clears and the upholstery were done by Paul Gibson in Coastal Coverings, Standard Cairns. And yeah, that's the only thing that...
He's really the only other person who's touched the boat, other than myself, Carlo and Nick, who helped us out. He's an old glasser, guru, worked for Riviera for many years, absolute legend. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have been able to do it to the standard we did. Like, you can research it and read a book, but working with someone who's got the experience next to you, and they just go, mate, one little trick can save you 10 hours. We built the hardtop first and then we had to tie it in. We knew we wanted bar work. We weren't sure. We were tossing up for ages whether we go like 50mm alley and then paint it or powder coat it. We mounted the hardtop to a frame on the roof of the shed there and then had the boat sitting in like the ride sort of position where we thought the water line was going to be and how it was going to sit on the water, and we just got the top sitting there and then held the got the core flirt and the Sharpie out, man, and started putting some lines on it. And then that took us a bit of time because like we were back and forth like ideas for probably 2 or 3 weeks. And then it was like, one RV, we were just having a beer on a Friday and it's like, yeah, that's sick, let's run it. We put the braces to hold the top because there's nothing worse than being on a hard top and it's like you hit a bit of slop and it's chattering around, like nothing more agricultural than a top just slapping around. Looks a bit like a tower as well, which we like the look of. Yeah, we've got the helipad on top there, so she's, you can definitely stand up there. We've made it strong enough that you can be up there in rough weather. The hardtop doesn't move around at all. It's extremely strong for what it is. So yeah, today we'll just, I climbed up there and we'll flicking for some GTs and some trout. And yeah, we're lucky enough to nail a big one. Done a few charters on some nice boats and like, it was something we always loved. Like you're sitting around having a drink, having sundowners sitting on the teak and it feels nice and then it looks sick. You get it wet and it looks wicked. And we're just like, we wanted to incorporate as many features of, like give a small boat the big boat feels, I guess. Probably not the smartest thing we've done on the build. Like we could have saved a shitload of money by not doing it, but fuck it. Every time you hop in it, it's like one of the things, every time that shit gets wet, it's like, you just want to rub your hands all over it. It's beautiful. Spent all day building all the rocket launchers, like across the back of the hardtop. Marked it all out, set it all out, notched all the tubes, tacked them all on, got to the last one and realised we'd fucked the spacings up and we're rod holder short. One short. So we dropped the middle rod holder out and put an anchor light there. We're starting at the back?
Yeah, start it.
So 250 4-stroke Yami, 2010 model, isn't it?
Yep.
2010 model, 500 litres of fuel under the deck, another 100 litres of fresh either side of that. Then moving forward, got like your pedestal, like armchair seats, sitting on top of like 150 litre esky seats, which are made out of 50mm foam. They seem to hold ice for what, like 5-6 days?
Yeah, easy, yeah.
They're meant, so you don't have to have an esky sliding around the back deck. Got a live well up the back, and then obviously all our undergunnel storage, spear gun holders. Then we got the Faruna 1150 sounder and 16-inch TZ touch up the front, custom made switch panel, cracking outrigger mounts. Spotty, look, got a work light off the back, like center. Work lights off either side, and then that light bar you can see up the front. Pencil down light, I guess there's like 5 of them or 6 of them in the cab.
Yeah.
Then we've got tow rail, like LED strip. There's a blue light in the live well. Then we got like the massive underwater lights out the back, which are sick at night. And like we saw this morning, they seem to shoot a hell of a lot of light. Sick.
The Haines 213, you don't really see too many of them. You see like the V17, the V19, obviously the 233, they're very popular, but the 213C they're sort of hard to come by. I've only really seen
a couple
2
come
or
up
3
here and there, not a hell of a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Haines 213C, it shares the same hull as the 635, but it's just a different top.
Yeah, top moulding was a cabin style.
Yeah. We're 7.2 now, 22 degree dead rise. We are 2.4 across the gunnels. Yeah, it's probably 2,500 hours and 25,000 beers being put into this boat. She weighs 2.3 tonne, dry. So fully loaded, she's, 2.7, 2.8 tonne.
Yeah, we hope we did it justice. They're just classic. Everyone had an uncle or, someone in the family had a Haines growing up. Awesome boat.
Yeah, this boat's, 39 years old.
Yeah.
And have a look at it.
She woke up all right.
Sand, 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 sand.
Yeah, money, sand.
And when you're sick of sanding, sand more. When you sand, you'll sand the end of your fingertips off, and then you got to keep going, and it really hurts. A lot of pain, sanding and pain.